Okay, hello to all you cats and kittens out there. Good morning. It's Saturday morning. The drips are certainly in the thick of it right now. I think we were both up around 4 a.m.
Mhm.
Work week was hell. I got
Yep.
my son's first birthday party this afternoon.
Happy birthday.
It's a miracle I'm even here today. But we
Yeah.
also had 4 shows this week, KMS shows. We had a basketball game. We had Mike and the Minifans, and we had maybe a half Menors Live. So a lot to get to there. Now, even if you saw your receptionist this week and he was the happiest he's ever been because he got a new printer scanner, this will still be the most boring part of your week. And yes, Pat, my receptionist is a man. Get over it, buddy. Get
That's
over
where
it.
I was going. I was going to get real sexist right out of the gate. Cool.
He's a nice guy. We call him Big Mike because he's kind of small. Office humor.
Is he?
No.
Thank you.
How you doing, Pat?
Good. How are you? Happy June. I got a sunburn. Does it look sunburnt?
I think with the lighting in the camera, it's pulling a tan.
Let me use this puppy.
There you go.
All right.
A true pro. A true pro.
How are you, John?
I'm doing good.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. There's things I have that I want to get to that seem so long ago now.
True.
Like since we last spoke to the people, and when I say people, I think I'm talking about maybe Andy Mayo. Yeah, Tim Smith from England with the paralyzed sausage dog, Luke from Open Borders, and Mutt. So what's up to you guys?
Yeah, Mayo too.
That's right. Yep. Absolutely. So, I mean, there was, I thought we could potentially start here. There was our little breakfast escapade that we took outside of the office. So
classic.
Being on the road so much, I'm taking some damage to the car. I mean, 2 times now. So my windshield had a huge crack in it just from being on the highway, hit with a rock right across the windshield. When you're in Rhode Island, did you know this? If your insurance is in Rhode Island, it's not covered, but Massachusetts it's always covered.
Yes, I did know that.
Which is a pain in the ass. So I had a $500 deductible, and a lot of times they can come to you, but with these new cars, you have to go to them to get calibrated or whatever the case is. So I had to go to Safelite, which was in your neck of the woods.
Yep.
So you ended up picking me up while they were working on the car. We got breakfast, but before that, I pull into the Safelite, and as I'm pulling in, I fart in the car a little bit.
Okay,
that's what you do. Right. You're driving around, you're farting.
Oh yeah,
you're drinking coffee in the morning. Didn't think too much of it, right?
Yeah.
Pull in. I go inside. I talk to the people. They're like, "All right, we just need your keys. It'll be like maybe an hour, 2 hours." I say, "Okay." I find out that I'm going to meet up with you, so I go into my car and I grab my backpack and a couple things. Dude, when I opened that door,
box that bitch.
And it was that hot day. It was that like 95 day that we had the basketball game later.
Cooking. Yeah, it was warm.
I opened the door, dude. I was choking. I was like, I started to panic. I'm like, I already gave them my key, so I can't roll the windows down. If I had my key, Pat,
your windshield was cracked, so maybe it could seep out.
It wasn't seeping. It was not seeping.
Oh no.
If I had my key, I was literally going to drive around the block with the windows open. That's how bad it was. Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah, the particles got stuck in the cloth because that's what farts are. I think farts are like poop particles that are just flowing through the air.
Yeah, don't they say like that's why you shouldn't have like an open toothbrush in your bathroom? Because like when you shit, there's just like particles flying around the bathroom and they stick to your toothbrush.
Maybe that explains the cavities because I am a farter. Wow.
Yeah, so I was terrified, but then I was like, there's nothing I can do.
I didn't know about the fart. You didn't bring that up at breakfast. That's interesting. It's a little wrinkle.
Saving it for the show.
Yeah, classy move.
Show. You picked me up on the side of the road,
like a common hitchhiker. Yes,
that's right. You were wearing, again on the hottest day of the year, I want to get this right. You were wearing what I think was a long sleeve button up collared shirt.
Bingo.
With a sweater over it.
No. Golf polo.
Okay.
Old Navy sweater over it. 50% off at Old Navy. Opened up a credit card. Got 15% on top of that, so 65% off. I don't wear that sweater a lot. Over the past 6 weeks, it's more than 7 weeks with the buy. I've been torturing myself just as punishment. So that was literally just sweated out. It did not prepare me for the game. I really hope it would have, but
Right.
yeah, it was a warm day. That was just a warm environment.
I couldn't. When I saw you, I couldn't believe it. I mean, you looked good, but it was
Crazy.
very hot that day, and you
I
were.
had my tight pants on too. Bulge was popping. It was a whole thing.
That was like a late November fit right there.
Yeah, that was a fall time fit that I tried
Yeah.
to force. You never want to force a fit.
Yep.
Pause.
Yep. Now, did you have was it a big meeting that day? Is that where you're looking extra fly, or that's just what Pat does?
I had something that day. I think I did have a large meeting, but they probably would have been like, that's not even dressed to impress. Like they probably questioned my sanity at that point if I'm wearing that. So it was a backfire.
But could there sometimes
My office is chilly.
that all right, that's a good point. That is a very good point because my office gets chilly as well. Oh, I had a question for you.
Mhm.
When you a parking question, are you also a site surveyor, or is that a different? Is there a different employee that would do like a site surveying and then you come in after the fact?
I'm a site surveyor. We do
Okay.
consulting. We'll do new builds. We'll help you do the whole process. But yeah, that's why I have the sunburn. I had a day yesterday of site surveying and note taking and analyzing and prepping. So yes, that would be me. Oftentimes I wear hard hats during new builds.
Do you really?
Yes.
Wow, hard hat Pat.
There are walkthroughs when it's a new build that they require a hard hat and a vest. I'll send you a picture. I took a selfie. It was when I was much fatter. I'm still fat, but it's like,
dude, how gay do you look in the hat and vest?
really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Like some guys look so cool, probably, but I don't know, man. I don't think I would.
You're walking through a job site and you got a bunch of guys in hard hats who are like building these buildings, like kind of looking at you funny as you just walk through looking like a squid.
Yeah, your boots look brand new like Montante's.
Yeah, I should get boots too.
Yeah. So what else is going on in your world?
I want to get into breakfast because I'm still having a hard time with the price, which I did expense. Full transparency.
We did talk shop.
We talked shop. We talked business. Talked a little hoops. But it was the most classic diner of classic diners you could ever imagine. It was like this.
That's why I want to go back, despite some of its downfalls.
Probably what? 700 square feet all in.
Small place, yeah.
A few booths, diner. The sodas that they had on tap.
Tell them.
7-Up, RC, not Moxie, but like something along that ilk. Just it had a really good feel. No one was overly friendly, which was great. Like the kind of three of the menus. Like
I love that so much. Yeah,
that's the best. Like I don't want to be wine and dine at 69 at the diner. Like just be grumpy. We know you don't want to be there either.
Yeah.
But what did you get?
I got the corned beef hash, 2 eggs over easy, and Italian toast.
Okay, so you did that, and I got a ham and cheese omelet with home fries.
Pretty big omelet.
Pretty big. The sizes were good.
Yep.
But with tip, it's $49.
Yeah, I don't get that unless I was thinking about it a little bit. Every time I took a sip of coffee, she came over and poured more coffee in there. I wonder if she was charging me by the fucking pour.
Because it wasn't itemized either. It was just a fucking piece of paper with $49.72 circled.
Yeah. Or we were taken advantage of, Pat. Everyone else in there, wearing jeans, looked like they just came off the cornfield. Me and you you're wearing your sweater vest and your polo. I've got a polo on. We're talking shop.
They probably thought we were suckers.
Taken advantage of.
We'll go back. We'll show them. We'll dine and dash next time. If you hear any screaming, it's been hell. So today's just been
I got dogs barking over here.
I heard the dog. Can you hear the kid?
Oh yeah, I can hear the kid. This is perfect. This is Saturday morning. This is what's going on.
This is good. We've had head injuries today. We had 4 a.m. wake up screaming at the garage door. It's been a whole thing. But
so when you heard him screaming this morning, is he now in a big boy bed and he can just get out of the bed and roam around the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he pops up and he's screaming at the garage door, "Mom, mom, mom, mom." I'm like, what the fuck's going on? This is crazy up here now.
It's like a theme.
And so I'm hoping she doesn't like snap. That'd be a bad look for her. She's like, "Shut the fuck up," which she would never do. But he was asleep for like an hour. It was sleepwalking, 100%.
Yeah,
he had no clue what was going on.
And there's no consoling them,
no,
because they're not even there.
I think I said I don't know what to tell you like 10 times. I didn't have any juice left in the tank either. It was 4:30 in the morning, for God's sakes. But you were up early too. You went for the walk. That's a pro move.
Yeah, and a lot of it. So I chose to do the wake up. So he started getting up around 4, and then you do that thing where you both are waiting to see if he's going to go back down.
Uh-huh.
So around 4:30, I knew I wanted to do the show today. I knew I probably shouldn't do the show today because we're prepping for the birthday party. But I was like, maybe if I get up at 4:30 and just keep him away from her for as long as I can and let her sleep in, that'll buy me as many points necessary to win the prize of doing the show.
You're a pro, John. How did she take this? I'm going to record a podcast with my friend talking about breakfast at
she like stared at me for a second, said it's not a good day, and then I called my mom and said, can I drop Thomas, my older one, off at your house, and then I'll put Tucker down at 10, and then you go to the store and get the cake and all that, and it all somehow it all works out. Serendipity.
That's God's plan right there.
Yeah.
Now, how many people are going to this birthday? Is this the first birthday party?
Yeah, so it's his first birthday party. He turned one on June 12th. Today's the 29th. I mean, we might as well be celebrating his second birthday party at this point. Yeah, I forgot the kid had a birthday already.
Closer to Juneteenth, if you think about it. Could be a combo party.
Should have been. Did you work Juneteenth?
Yeah, but no one else did. This is the first year I think it's like a state holiday. So I rolled in the office. I'm like, fuck's going on here? But it was peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah, I worked. I was on the road, and it was nice being on the road. There was no cars.
Now, how many people are you inviting to this birthday party?
Dude, I don't know anything about this birthday party. I know that
I spent like $4,000 for my kids' $3,000 for my kids' first birthday party or something ridiculous.
All I know is it's like car themed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I think the card said fast. Oh, that was a fast one. You know?
That's great.
And that's like the extent of what I know. And then this morning I was sitting there trying to make a playlist of songs that had to do with cars. So.
Oh, you got to have fast car on there.
Yep, fast cars on there. I did the Luke. It's his name, Luke Bryan, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The one that Kirk calls the cross-eyed.
Luke Combs.
Oh, Luke Combs. Yeah. Yep.
More you know.
Yep. Let me see what else I had here.
I didn't do the plumber.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that. So you're just still dealing with this?
She just yelled back.
Yep.
Oh my God, someone fell. Oh my God, it's hell up there. And
you just know you have to go up there. Like that's always the worst part, like knowing you have to go and get involved, you know?
This is the worst time possible. I never called the plumber. I'm trying to focus here. This is wild. I never called the plumber. I never called the uncle. It's been bad. I failed. I don't know what to do. Should I call a plumber now?
Yeah.
Like, what do I?
Okay. You think they're open on Saturdays, right?
I already called ahead to make sure they would answer. And
okay.
I should probably mute it. I don't know what to do here. Should I explain the situation with my uncle, my plunkle?
Oh, so you're not calling the plunkle. You're calling an established plumbing facility.
I think I just have to pull the. I'm too far in to be like, hey, gentle reminder, I called you 3 weeks ago about this.
Yeah. I think you call, explain what happened, saying, "Oh, I let it go this far because I thought I was going to have an uncle."
Research purposes. I have to do live to tape, right?
Yeah, I can hear it, so it's good.
Highest quality service. This call
I'm fucking nervous right now. Jesus Christ. I gotta workshop this. My heart's racing. It's gonna be bad if they don't pick up.
Live to tape.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing.
Hey, how you doing? I had a quick question for you, live tape. How do I explain this? I left my hose attached to my outside faucet. I think that's what it's called, over the winter, and it became almost cemented to it. I'm not very handy. And trying to explain, I took a wrench to it, and I think I snapped the pipe inside. It's leaking a little bit from the foundation of the house. It's not leaking inside the house, but I think the pipe's cracked a little bit. Is that something you guys handle? Or my uncle's he's a plumber, and I feel like I asked him to help, and he didn't answer, and he's gonna be mad if I go somewhere else. But I feel like I have no other option. It's a whole mess right now. So is that something you guys do? I'm not very educated in this topic.
It's something we could take a look at. Unfortunately, right now I'm looking at Monday. So if you're looking to get something quickly, I wouldn't be able to help you until Monday.
I can't lie to you. It's been like 3 weeks. I've been dragging my feet on this. My water bill is going to be outrageous. So Monday is fine.
Yeah. The CEO water bill.
Yeah, no, not ideal. Okay, so Monday's okay.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll put you on for between 11 and 1 right now, and if we have something free up earlier, we could definitely give you a shout.
Okay. All right. I'm actually just leaving. I'm leaving church right now. So you mind if I give you a call back when I get everything situated? I was just making sure this was something that was doable.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay. Thank you. What was your name again?
My name's Will.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
You're welcome. You too.
Bye.
And there you go.
Okay.
And that's how it's done. They're definitely expecting to show up to a 2-husband household, by the way. What did that guy say his name was? I didn't catch that.
When I workshopped this in my head earlier this morning, I was going to be like, "Oh, my partner's here." I was going to do the gay route, and have you chime in, but I don't know what his name was. I think it was Will, but it was very muffled.
Yeah, Will. It was almost like a Willard.
Yeah, I've never paid for this though. What do you think this is going to run me?
No idea. Like, what do you think they're going to have to do? Are they replacing something, or are they welding something?
Even my neighbor was like, "This is an easy fix." I'm like, "I don't think you know what I'm talking about." So like,
he said it was an easy fix.
It was an easy fix. I don't think it is. He's very handy, so he would know more than I.
Yeah, not so easy where he offered to help out.
So it's actually over there. It's like where the garage is on that side. It's not leaking inside the house, and it's not pouring out of the faucet itself. It's just dropping from the foundation. So I think directly next to the spout, it's cracked. Mm-hmm. So how do you get into the house without like breaking down the wall?
They're probably gonna have to cut something.
Yeah.
What would be more ideal, cutting it from the outside or the inside?
Fuck if I know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's probably just one piece that they can replace. They're probably gonna have to cut something, take that part out, and then just replace it.
Well, my neighbor said shark bite.
What does that mean?
I think that's one of the devices they use. They'll shark bite the pipe.
Sure.
So I don't know how Kirk does that so frequently with the live tape stuff. I was shaking. My heart was racing. I didn't know what to do.
I think
where'd the church thing come from? Like, why didn't I just go on mute and give him my address? Now I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna follow up on this.
You got to follow up at this point. You got to
right?
give Big Willie the business. I think at this point.
Hey, Will, it's Pat. I called earlier. Probably that.
Yeah, you got the church thing because in our pre-show with John, he was talking about going to Catholic school.
He did look very professional.
He did. He's haircut John. He's wearing a nice shirt. He's coming from the beach. He got a haircut on the beach, I think. I wasn't 100% sure what that meant.
I imagine he was sitting on the boardwalk.
Yeah, just outdoor, wind blowing in the face, getting a little scissor on top.
Sports Clips. I went to Sports Clips once. No free ads. It was fine. But I have I have Jeff. I think we talked barbers before. Did I tell you I went to a random place to get my haircut?
Yeah, and you liked it, didn't you?
Yeah. I'm not going back to the Cape for that, but it was an interesting experience.
I think I said this to you at breakfast, but I had that weird situation parking wise where I paid for parking, but I never had to put the slip on my windshield. Didn't have to give it to any security guard, and there was no kiosk. So they were just waiting for rubes like me to just pay. And I think you were saying that might have even been the business model, like take what you can get from people who are willing to pay, and then the people who don't pay, whatever. It's no real skin off our back.
I was actually thinking about it afterwards. It's an office building, right?
Yeah, it's an office building with like medical offices inside of it. There's probably one of these professional buildings. Parking lot wasn't that big. I showed you a picture of the street view on Google Maps, but you pull in again, no kiosk.
Yep.
Regular looking parking lot, but along the fence are like every 10 feet is a red sign that says pay for parking inside, $3.
Yep.
So I went into the lobby. I paid $3. It gave me a receipt, but I didn't do anything with it. And it was legit a receipt. It wasn't a ticket. So what? It didn't even look like something that you would put on your windshield.
Did you put your license plate in?
I don't remember if I put my license plate in or not. But all I know is when I was leaving, I can't remember if it was when I was leaving or when I got there, when I asked the people at the front desk and I asked the security guard, like, oh, what do you need me to do? Like, to let you know I paid. And nobody, they're just like, I don't know. Like, we don't care.
It is like business, like an office building like that. There is no need to necessarily monetize for parking. But if you look at like different established, like it's probably owned by a corporation that has multiple buildings, some of which like have garages attached to them, and they understand how much money they can make off parking. So if they put up signs, say there's 20 signs throughout the lot, signs are $50 a pop. You're looking at $1,000 in overhead. You have a meter that you paid at, or a device you paid at inside, probably $5,000, and then $150 a month. So right there, you're at $6,000 in expenses. And you probably have a parking license of like maybe how many spaces was it?
Oof, I don't know.
Let's call it 100. Okay,
sure.
Depending on where you're at, you're probably looking at another $2,000 in permit fees, either annual or so. You're all in $8,000 costs. In their heads, they're like, listen, just put up signs over the course of 365 days. You're gonna get at least your $8,000 back. And then you're gonna make free money. If you were to enforce it, you'd have to allocate, probably $18 an hour for an enforcement agent, and you have to pay them. There's benefits tacked in, so like your load's probably 30%. So that person's making, let's call it $25 an hour all in. So if you have them come by, you have to do a minimum hours work. So if you have them come by 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, 14 hours, let's call it 10 hours to just be clean. $250 a week times fit. So then it's just like, what are they going to capture? Because you're not even putting your license plate. There's no way for them to verify that transaction is even tied to that car. Let's just put the shit out there. Hope a couple of rubes like you pay, and they'll make their money back, and then they'll probably make a little bit of profit on top of it. And it's an extra $5,000 at the end of the year. It'll cover some other expense. That's the way I saw it.
That was an amazing breakdown, and that's why the people watch Drips in the Office. If I had to guess.
Bingo.
Well,
now,
let me try to shut this door. Hold on a second. These dogs are driving me nuts. One second.
There's a whole bunch of shit going on. I've never been by myself. A little overcast today.
And we are back.
I started rambling a little bit about the weather. But yeah, you got played. But I mean, for some reason, if they had, what it could be too. Did you notice cameras?
They are always watching.
True.
They are always watching.
The man's always watching. But you get a lot of locations. There's new technology where you can put a camera on top of a light post, depending on the vicinity, and it can actually hit your plate.
No kidding.
That's an interesting model. That's kind of becoming new.
Do you guys use that?
We try to. So we don't have the technology ourselves. It's
do you license? Okay, so yeah, so you get
third-party company. So how it works is basically they'll put a camera at the entrance. They'll put a camera at the exit. When you pull in, it takes a picture of your license plate. Say license plate 1234. When you go pay, it's either through scan to pay or through one of those kiosks. You would have to enter your license plate. And once that transaction's paid, it ties to your license plate. The cameras say 1234 is green.
Just gotten excited.
1234 is a green check mark. They're paid. So when you go to exit, you're all set. But if you don't pay, that exit camera will take a picture of your license plate.
Crazy.
And then that company will run the DMV, get your address, and send you a notice in the mail. If you don't pay it in 30 days, they'll send you an escalated notice in the mail and keep going and keep going. Some states have legal bound to that. Like some states can actually access the DMV and put points on your record.
That's crazy.
Most can't, but they'll come in and they'll put the cameras in for free. Right? They'll put the cameras in for free. You keep all the revenue. But those tickets, they determine the price. So if the ticket's $100, their model is they keep 50% of the ticket. So for me, it makes sense. It's like, okay, $100 ticket. I collect all, like you pay the $3. I got that.
Yeah.
And then if you don't pay, I send you a ticket in the mail for $100. It goes to $120. You finally say, fuck, like I'm going to get in trouble for this. I'm just going to pay it. $120. They keep $60. They cut us a check for $60.
And is there a scenario where the camera folks go directly, like partner directly with maybe the building management instead of the parking?
That's why we have a hard time working with them, because a lot of times it doesn't, like they work with us if we run a facility, but they'll also work directly with. You try to build up the relationship, and most of the times they won't try to partner directly with the building.
You ever get like a three-way partnership going?
Yeah,
and then the money has to get split 3 ways.
Yeah, not necessarily. They look at us and they say like, "Okay, I'm just going to work with Laz or not, whatever." I already said it.
Yeah.
We're going to work with me because I have 150 locations in Massachusetts alone. Like, I don't want to piss them off because then they won't loop me in on any of those. So why work directly? Like if they're working with the business itself, they'll say, "Hey, we partner with Laz. They could run all the finance for you for a small fee every month." That's how it works in theory.
I kind of love that. I love when you get into
I
it.
didn't have that on my docket today, but I'm glad I got that.
And that was a freestyle. That was straight off the top.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Best in the biz. Not really.
Bringing it all the way back to the first topic of going to Safelite and getting my windshield fixed. Not even, when did I text you? 3 days later when it happened again?
Yeah.
So then I'm on Route 24 for anyone who's out over this way. Going north on 24, bang, this one's loud. I could hear it. Boom, windshield cracked again. This time it didn't streak across the whole thing. It's just like a little a little crack.
A little chink in the armor.
Right. And supposedly they can you don't have to replace the windshield with this one. I think they can kind of, I don't know what they do. They buff it out or whatever the hell it is. But
yeah,
we'll get fact checked on that one. But that's 2 windshields that I have to fix now. I'm buying lunch all over the place. The other day I had time to kill it in between appointments, and I was in a random mall in the middle of Connecticut, and I bought a pair of shoes.
I do that all the time. It's such a bad thing.
I'm getting oil changes left and right. So this new job, I've realized, is costing me more money than it's gaining me.
1,000%.
Unbelievable.
Like, I have a car allowance. It's great. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I drove 300 miles today. Like, this isn't great. I think we talked about if we would take the car from the company or the car. Should have just taken the fucking car.
I was thinking about that this morning. I still think I like the freedom a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, dude, so I got my oil change maybe 2 weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago. You know how they obviously put the sticker on the windshield and they have like an estimated date of when they think that mileage threshold will get met. I'm 1,000 miles over when they think I should get the oil change. And the date they thought that was going to happen is August 28th.
I'm 2,500 miles over right now.
It's June 29th, folks. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, and it's like that really fucks up your car. Like that's one thing you should always get your oil changes on time. At least that's what
I have a device in my car that checks the oil health. Like it tells me my oil health. It says it's fine. I don't believe it.
Oh, so maybe it's a scam. Everything's a scam.
I think it is a scam because every time they take out my freaking air my air filter.
Oh, that's the worst. You can play the game with them. Look at the leaves that are stuck in it.
I think they put shit in it beforehand. Because how the hell do I?
I've heard that. I've read that on Reddit.
Every time I say no. But have you ever changed your own oil?
No, I don't even know what that is. Yeah.
No way. That seems crazy. You got to get under there and shit.
Yeah, that's
fuck that.
I can put I'm like Kirk. I can put the windshield fluid in, and that I feel like the man too. Especially if someone, like, let's say someone's just driving, like you're doing it in front of your house, or maybe you're right in the parking lot of the store. If they don't actually see you holding the fluid, all they see is you with the hood up. As far as they know, you're changing the carburetor, dude.
I always keep a little towel in my back pocket too.
Oh, like throw it over your shoulder?
No, I put it right in the back pocket, like hanging out.
You dog.
Like, he's legit. Yeah, I got one in the garage.
Oh, that's great. If you had like a bandana hanging out of the pocket, that'd be great. Like a greased up bandana.
That'd be a power move. Yeah. Let the butt crack hang out a little bit. Look like a real working man.
That's right.
Shout out, Justin.
Completely out of left field, but this is something I was thinking about. Maybe it can tie into scam. Do you know there's like people stuck in space right now? Have you heard of this?
Nope.
Apparently I think it's through NASA, but maybe third party situation, whatever, contracted through Boeing. So we all know Boeing's been in the news. Like they can't, dude. It almost makes me think like someone's out to get Boeing because all these stories, like they can't be this incompetent, and they're killing people left and right in parking lots.
True.
But apparently there's like 2 or 3 people stuck in like a fucking capsule in space right now, and they have 42 days of oxygen left. And I haven't heard of, like, I've seen one little clip about it. I don't know. I think Boeing's trying to, I think they're trying to get the news hush hush.
Trying to keep it on the radar. Well, That's over because we've talked about it. And now the world's going to hear about
That's
it.
right.
Those
That's
scumbags.
right.
That's awful. I hope those people make it back. But that's another reason why I'll never go to space. I mean, there's countless reasons. I don't think I'd qualify. Like, there's no joy in that for me. You're a space guy, right?
I like the idea of space. I like the idea of, aliens and planets and stuff like that. When I was younger, I thought going to space would be the coolest thing in the world. But dude, where was I the other day? I was in an elevator the other day, and it made me feel sick.
I
Like
fit.
it was either going up or down. And then I literally was in that moment thinking to myself, I can't go to space. Like it was an actual possibility.
Yeah, elevators are the worst. Like the one for our office in Boston, like shakes on the second floor, and every time, like, I'm just gonna die in here.
Yeah, the shaking, and then I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like Coleman getting older, but I get that like nauseous feeling in the elevator now. I don't know what's happening to me.
We have like one guy we work with too that'll, like, he knows I don't feel comfortable, so he'll jump, and it's like that's not like
I don't love that
point,
move.
no point of that. That's funny. Like,
yeah, remember that old? It's like that old wives' tale. Like if an elevator's falling, you jump, and then you'll be fine.
I don't think that works like that.
No, I mean I like the idea of it. Like it's
You
falling,
have no choice.
jump.
At that point, what are you gonna do? Like, it's either that or you get squished.
Yeah, it's like the old, if you see a shark, punch it in the nose. It's like, okay, cool. If I'm in that situation, that's exactly what I'll do.
And can I say something? And it's like I follow on my TikTok algorithm. It has a lot of these like deep divers who pull people out of cars. Like we found, and they're like, we found him, and then everybody cries. Like, I'm sure there's other things, but like if my car, like if I took a right, it's like, oh shit, like I pulled into the lake by accident. Like, a lot of people are like, yeah, he had the windows up and like his seatbelt was still on. Like, I think I'd have the intuition to be like, click, open, get out.
Yep.
Right.
Every time I go over a bridge, I like go over my game plan. I'm like, all right, let's start rolling the windows down as we're falling.
I think you want to keep the windows up, right? Because all of a sudden that thing falls sideways. Like maybe the window will not break, but like if it's open, just cement.
Yeah, but how do you get out of the car if the windows are?
Well, that's my point. Like, I think I'm like, oh shit, like I'm underwater. Like, hit the seatbelt, open the door, and just let the car go.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd probably just rather die.
Yeah, maybe that'd be my way out.
It'd be a lot easier, I think. That seems like the whole trying to escape and like get my life back seems so stressful.
Kind of look around, look at the fish, be like, hey boys.
All right, this is it. This is it. I mean, you looking at the fish, that's a fever dream. You get to see the fish fly by. It's like, and then you're basically buried in a large aquarium.
Imagine that. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask the plumber. I'll ask him when he comes on Monday if I call, which I will call him. Like if he knows where the fish, like if he knows that, like
where they go.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna have to have that. You're gonna have to ask yourself, do you hang around while he's working on it? Do you hover? Similar to what we discussed last week or 2 weeks ago.
I might have to legitimately work my schedule, like work out my schedule because I want to be here for it because I love that shit. Yeah, I definitely hover. Like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
And the hose is still on there too.
Yeah, well, you said it's like cemented on there, right?
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to get that off, and then
I think he's gonna kill the water. I think he's gonna chop it, but then I don't know how he gets in because it's a very small hole. Pause.
Might have to film that.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully, Will's cool.
Yeah, he's like that was already a weird phone call. Now this guy's following me everywhere, and he's filming me.
I'm going to this gay guy's house on Monday between 11 and 2.
Yeah. Just make sure if you're hanging around him, you tell him the Boeing space people are stuck, and then maybe he'll tell a friend who tells a friend, and then finally the world will know that there's people in space.
Look at that. It's like how COVID got started. Just one person spreading it around.
Yeah. Oh, you believe in COVID?
This is why we don't go live.
What was I going to say? Oh, I did find another thing about me just spending money on the road. I found the best little like Mexican spot, like food spot on the road. I was in Bristol, Connecticut.
Okay.
Went to this community health center. I was starving, almost as hungry as I was when I was in the studio yesterday. My stomach was fucking grumbling.
Yeah.
That was making. I couldn't tell if Mike thought it was funny or if he was getting angry. We'll get into it in a little bit, but literally nothing was in English on the menu, and you had to order on a window outside. It was the great. I was like, this is either going to be the worst or the greatest experience of my life. So I walk up to the window. I saw something that looked like it said taco and something that said empanada. It was so good. I had to go back to the window. I ate it in a little picnic table. I went back to the window and like knocked on the window to tell the guy how good it was.
You should have done that. You ever seen that video? Like, who made this taco?
Yeah.
Who made this taco?
It's just like a 15-year-old kid in the back.
This is a great taco. Yeah, that's no better feeling. I found one that's Warwick Mall.
Oh
This
yeah,
little taco place in the food court, and somebody, my friend Nick Tacular on Twitter,
shout out.
who I saw him there. He said originally he thought there was rats there, but he thinks it's also good. Fucking dynamite taco spot. No one speaks the language. All they know is steak, rice, lettuce, corn, guacamole.
Yep.
And
Pollo.
dynamite. I could barely pay because I didn't know he didn't know what I was talking about with the chip not working. So no, I also found one of those spots. But do you find yourself spending like when I worked locally more and didn't have to travel as much? I'll be home by 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I feel productive. I make my lunch for the next day. Now I'm getting home like 6, 7, defeated as a motherfucker. Just shot 1 for 9. Like just fucking pit. Like I don't make my lunch. I just buy food all the time.
I know I've been buying food like crazy. I got to figure out. I guess I need to bring a cooler or a lunchbox so I can actually have like
I got a lunch pail.
Yeah, I need to do that because I am just stopping and getting food, and I hate myself after I do it.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me if you. Speaking of getting ripped off, dude. I went to a Subway the other day, and now granted, it was a Subway that was in one of these rest stops off the highway.
Okay.
I got a sandwich, a chicken teriyaki sandwich, or whatever it is, sweet onion chicken teriyaki,
Ooh.
chips and a drink, which is like that's the package, right? Like that's like the meal or whatever. Dude, it was $20 and change.
Kirk said he went to the Subway after the game that like Harry and Kate went to in the one in Connecticut. He said he spent like $50.
It makes no sense, dude. You used to be able to get that exact same meal for like 10, 11 bucks.
Yeah, it's crazy. Biden's America.
Typical, like me being such a pussy. Like I thought maybe she put some, it was probably the cost, even though I can't even
say anything.
fathom a sandwich, a soda, and a bag of chips costing over $20. But I didn't. I thought maybe she put it in wrong, and I was just like, okay, yeah, thank you very much.
I'm the same way. What like because it's gonna be like, are you sure that's the right price? It seems high. To be like, yeah, look at the menu. Those are the prices above you. Like,
yeah, she's like,
and you just feel stupid and like you'll never go back to that Subway again.
Right.
I wouldn't have brought it up either. Don't feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That one I thought I couldn't believe it. And then I didn't even I ate half of it. And I didn't even want the other half, but I decided I spent $20 on it. I'm gonna shovel this thing down.
Yeah, you got to finish the job on that one, no doubt.
And then you're back in the car, just farting it up in there.
Gassing it up, man. They were really bad yesterday. My toots better today.
Yeah, and I had a classic. I had like a package of those little Christmas tree scent things. And the last one in the package that I had up was like the black ice, like the classic high school scent thing. And I'll tell you what, Subway farts mixed with black ice, like it's just not good. It's not good. It's like it's chemical at that point.
Yeah, that's not great. That was great in high school. Whenever somebody had like 20 of those hanging from the mirror, it's like, yeah, we get it. You smoke pot. That's cool.
Yeah.
What do we want to get into?
Little KMS. I mean, I don't know if we want to go as far back as last week because we didn't have a show. I mean, we might as well just stick with this week, a little bit of basketball. What are your takeaways?
By us not doing practice Pat and Joe and Warren as our names on this, by the way.
Listen, I tried to coin the term playoff Pat, so you kind of have something to live into.
Literally, that was I had that conversation with my wife this morning. I was like, I have to be better. She's like kind of looking at me like, you are nuts.
Are you worried about the timing of the playoffs in conjunction with your soon-to-be baby?
Yes, because things look like they're escalating quicker than we anticipated. Due date's already been moved up by 3 weeks. Almost missed the last game because of all this nonsense. But when we were, because I'm not going to go into crazy details, but obviously we had to go to the hospital before the game that Kirk wasn't at. And I almost missed the game. But my wife was the one who was like, on your way, like leave. We weren't done yet.
That's crazy.
We're still in the freaking hospital. She's like, you have a game. You got to go.
And she knows she married a baller.
That's a power. No, she didn't. She married a fucking mason laying bricks. Fucking disaster. But, yeah, no, that was wild. But I just don't know if there's a head or a hand crawling out of there. I don't think she's going to be like, I got it. pushing away, like 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
push. Like, don't go 1 for 9 from the field, dickhead. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen. But
Yeah, when I started
I'm a
thinking
little
about the break we have, like we don't have a game for what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks practice
2
next
weeks,
Sunday. We
and
got some
then
dogs
your
on the
wife's
grill.
already like, is she deep into the 8 months at this point?
It's 31 weeks.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll see what happens there. Speaking of the months, how about, like, I know it's the joke is old when you make fun of people who say months instead of years. You know what I'm talking about? We're like, oh, how old is your kid? And then they say like, 48 months, and you're like, I don't know what that means.
Nope.
I had one again. I know that's like an old joke, but I want to bring it up because someone did one to me yesterday, and I just thought it was so unnecessary. We were at pool club. Was Mama K there? Yes, she was. Get over it. And I saw this kid I know. I hadn't seen him in a long time, and I know he had a baby like a year ago. So I went up to him and I was like, hey, what's going on? I'm holding my son. His son's kind of like dancing around. I was like, oh, how old is he now? And he goes, just about 13 months. But isn't just about 13 months the perfect time to just say 1?
That's
like you're 1 at that point because you're not even 13 months yet. You're on your 12th month.
Here's the thing, because you have 2 different iterations of people. I think the minority of people are, my kid's 1. It doesn't matter if they're 13 months or 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll have some people be like, yeah, he's 1. But like in reality, because the development is so quick month over month. I don't hate that move. I think up until 2 years, you go with month. Once you hit 2 years, I think it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm before that. I get what you're saying. I don't know. For some reason, it was like almost 13 months. So I'm like,
okay, so let's say your son his birthday is next month.
Mm-hmm.
He's 23. Do you say like, oh, he's 1?
Well, for his birthday, no, I would say no. Before they turn 1, you can say months.
Okay, so but what if he's 21 months old? So he's almost 2. We could be like, yeah, he's 1, because people are going to visualize a 1-year-old.
He's almost 2. Almost 2.
Okay, so there's 3 different. Yeah, no, I think that's fine. I think that's fine.
I get what you're saying, and I actually respect the up until 2. Like, I would, if I had to be given like a choice, and that would be a good compromise, I think.
Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but like if I ask you how old your kid is and you're like, oh, he's 38 months, like that kid has no chance.
No, I can't do math that fast.
You're such a loser.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you right now what 38 months is. 12 is 24, and then after
3
that,
months,
everything gets kind of
36. Yeah. No, it's okay. But like, see that level of confusion. But there are people like that, and they should be institutionalized. I think we probably should too. I mean, we're sitting here. Your son's birthday party's in an hour.
Yeah,
there's like World War IV going on up there, and we're just here shooting the shit about breakfast. No, that's neither here nor there. But how's your beach club membership or your pool club membership?
Pool club's good. Yeah, it's really cool. There's literally 3 pools. I've said literally 1,000 times in this podcast. I want to kill myself for it. But there's 3 pools, splash pad, bounce house. So a lot of entertainment for the kids. There's a bar for the adults. There's like a food truck type thing. It's like hamburger, hot dogs.
It's classic.
Yeah. Classic. Yep. Yeah. It's good. It was packed last night because they had a band. So there's a band playing, and I go right from work. So it's kind of nice. I get to go and like put my fake happy face on for a little while.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah. Everything was fine.
Okay. Yeah. Great game. Lost by 25, but leave me alone. I just heard he asked to come downstairs because this is where all his play stuff is. And she goes, no, your father's downstairs doing his podcast. Or doing his show.
Did she say it with the right amount of volume where she was hearing it?
Yeah, dude, I heard it. I don't know if it came through the mic, but yeah.
All right. Well, I know we've got things going on. We could sort of wrap it up soon. I mean, give me your some show takes from this week.
I enjoyed your show very thoroughly. I'm bummed I couldn't be there, but my work is a disaster. You and Mike were very good. Listen, there's lots of stuff to cover. There's obviously the Mick Gus saga, but the one takeaway is I'm never going to be the guy that like, I'm not going to tweet something out or tweet a video to like bury somebody or get somebody in trouble unless they're like a total asshole. But when that intern was going through the legs doing 360 layups, when
I didn't see that, it must have been before I got there.
I got there early because I was working there. He's out there just fucking jacking up threes with Cliff while
Oh, no.
Coleman, and Justin are pulling in coolers. And I looked at Coleman. I'm like, that kid's gonna die if Kirk walks in.
So so it started early. I mean, and I'll say this: I have no problem with Cliff shooting around if he's there that early.
Ted's got a good shot.
I bet he does.
Ted's got a good shot.
He's got those big, strong, long arms.
He really does. Yeah.
Yeah. I was so happy I got my Mike Wazowski take out there. I thoroughly enjoyed that one.
That's pretty good.
No, but if the intern knew what he was doing, you film Cliff shooting around.
Correct.
That's content right there.
Correct.
And Ted.
I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I was like sitting there warming up. I remember it was one point I was like, I don't know, I was shooting a free throw or something, and he like whizzed by me, like through the legs.
He's like, fast as fuck, boy.
I'm like, this isn't good. This is not good.
I love that you already knew it was going to be a problem. That's so funny.
When like that happened at halftime, I was like, oh my god, I knew this was happening at some point. It didn't think it'd be so soon, but I
said it on the show, but I didn't even blink. Like that happened, and I just turned around and went back into the huddle like nothing, because there was zero. Like it made no sense that he should have spoke up in that moment.
3-1-1. The best part was the word "we." When you use the word "we," it's like you're dead.
And he was kind of like, we could do the 3-1-1. I was like,
I thought it was more. It was all a blur at that moment. I thought it was more aggressive. I thought it was like camera here, like put the camera down, like you guys, we need to run a 3-1.
It was, it might have been something like that.
It was a little more intense than that. That's what it was.
Yeah, it's just like, who the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of here. By the way, you're fired.
Yeah, always fired. So
I do love the idea of him driving home. Like, you think he was calling people, or you think it was just like a sad, like quiet ride home?
He texted them, like, "Is he serious? Like, but you've never listened to the show. You are never come back."
Yeah, right. I still think, even with that going on, for me, the takeaway might even be not even from the game for the whole week was Cullinane on the call. Did you go back and listen to the game?
I haven't gone back and listened to all of it. I've heard Dave's highlights. It's going to be a tough one to rewatch again. But was he good?
He was good. Yeah, he was good. Like, he definitely had like his sideline reporter voice going on. He was commenting on different things happening, but he was unhinged. Like, and I didn't realize it until
shout out Ron, by the way. Everybody is way up on what he's got going on over there. The kid's just winning at every angle. Just climbing trees all day, going out there putting up 14 boards and just walking home with
14 rebounds is crazy.
And
he outruns every like when he has those steals or those rebounds, he's gonna make it to the end of the other end of the court before anyone in that league.
I know, and it's depressing to be like gas while this guy's just like,
especially because you want to be able to have like maybe a 2-on-1 and he could pass it to you, but I can't even keep up with him.
There are some people that like they give Ron shit for like whatever reason. Like, if you're one of those people, like, take a long walk off a short pier, like get boned. Like, that guy's just
go for maybe a jog and like see how gassed you get.
True. Yeah, I know. I do have more wind now, but it's just
I think so too. And I actually think playing in that a couple weeks ago in that hot gym was almost good for us, because now that gym's hot no matter what now. Not as hot as that day, but now I go in there and I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, it's not as hot as it was.
Yeah, I've been losing weight with that, but after that last game, I stopped at Seasons Corner Market and I got a bag of Cheetos and 4 Laffy Taffies, and I just went home and just ate them. I haven't done that in a long time.
Unfortunately, I got to send you a video of this guy who puts a Cheeto under a microscope, and if you keep like zooming in, there's like little bugs.
Oh no, I've seen it. Okay, all right. There's little bugs in there.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's bugs in the Cheetos, guys. There's bugs in the Cheetos.
Bugs in the Cheetos. I gotta tweet that out.
Dude, like, what's going on in Biden's America when there's bugs in the Cheetos? When I was growing up, there was no bugs in the Cheetos. I'll tell you that right now.
Like them, love them, hate them, despise them. There was never a bug in one of my Cheetos when Donald Trump was in office.
That's right. Let me here's what I have to say about the Gus and Mick situation. I'm going to remain a Mick maniac, because I don't feel like jumping ship left and right. I'm going to plant a flag. And have I been in the Gus bus? Yes, but guess what? The Gus bus is stuck in the Mick maze. We are in the Mick maze. We don't know which way is up, down, left, right. Can't find the exit, and I'm in it. All right. So I'm going to stick with Mick, my guy. With that said, I was hurt and disappointed that he didn't show up to the game. Absolutely. No problem saying that.
I was also bummed that he was not at the game. You said on the show he didn't text me back. Right after the game, I got a message that he hearted the message that I sent him. So there was a reply. There was a reply from him that made me feel that I felt better because I don't want him to be. I think he wanted to be there. It's just a very tough situation. I, like you, I'm going to continue to be a maniac.
Mhm.
I'll still be the first one in all those YouTube shows when he goes live. Still love Mick. Would have loved for him to be there. Gus is our teammate. I'm not picking a side. Shocker with how I operate as a whole.
Same.
I just want to win next week with hopefully both of them are there. I mean, the one thing about it too, like, geez, sorry. The one thing no one's talking about is like, we'll take the intern out of it. Bobby busts his ass. And like, shout out Bobby. He's always the first one with the camera, getting all the different angles. Like with Gus being there, it helps the production of it because I imagine he has some sort of like stool scenes guys following him around at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he probably hires a camera crew to be there to kind of videotape him. Maybe they get a little bit of the game.
Maybe it's like maybe you remember the movie Along Came Polly?
I haven't seen it. I don't.
Oh, Along Came Polly. This guy Sandy Lyle has he says that like E is doing a documentary on him, so he has a camera crew following him. But then you find out that he's just been paying them to follow him around.
I can see that.
Yeah. But no, Gus being there's big. Like before the game, like all kidding aside, I do see him with like he's carrying around like I don't know, whatever it is, the technical stuff. He's helping set up some of the soundboard stuff. He's plugging stuff in. He's grabbing waters for people. So
I respect him for that. I like busting his balls about the stuff. I understand Mick's stance if he took what Gus said in that direction. If he thinks that Gus legitimately was saying that for that reason that he tweeted out, then sure. Like I probably wouldn't want to be around the guy either. But I mean, frankly, I didn't know that. Like I'm not gonna bring it up or talk about it because it's obviously. But I had no idea that was.
I had no idea either.
I listened to everything that guy does.
I think
maybe I missed it, but I had no idea.
No, because I couldn't think of it either. I listen to every Beyond Average too. Not from the beginning though. I will say that. So maybe there's some earlier stuff where it got brought up, but anything recent, I don't recall that, and I don't recall it on the show either. And I don't think, say whatever you want about Gus, I don't think he was going as low as to mention your break for that reason. Like that wasn't the underlying tone of you went away.
Yeah, I don't think so, but I understand if he interprets that way, and like that's the reason I kind of like love Mick and like love his craziness, because like he thinks it. He's not going to be like, oh, everybody else says that's not it. Like
he's got conviction.
I guess I'm just going to go with everybody else. Like he thinks it, so totally. Be it. But they're just both come to the game next week. We'll be fine. We need that. We need the bump. You saw that last game. We need the Mick bump. We do. It was. I mean, starting the game down by 22 wasn't great, and having Kirk go down right away wasn't great. I mean, those guys were also lights out from three though. Like I don't know, what are you going to do? And they weren't even, guys were like 2 feet beyond the perimeter. Like what are you supposed to? You could have all the defense in the world. They're going to take that shot from that far out and hit it. Maybe we go 3-1-1. Has anyone mentioned the 3-1-1 zone? I don't know if that's been brought up.
That would be big if we tried that. Maybe we should have someone run it by
halftime.
Yeah, we'll have someone run it by Kirk.
The turn.
Yeah. We also had the Cliff and Ted show, which I loved.
Cliff. You said that Cliff was getting shit. Like I didn't really see any of it. I like Cliff at first.
Me too. I'm a cliffhanger.
When he first came in for the second time, I was like, here we go. Like, oh, everybody in this team sucks. I can make this team better. And then, like, the video comes out of him, like, just fucking flopping all over the place. Like, I was like, all right, this guy's funny. And I enjoyed him in the show, but Ted was, in my opinion, perfect.
He was great.
He
seemed like no nerves, like
he
very
knew
confident.
Everything. He was in on the joke. Like, you could have said anything to him, no real nerves. He said afterwards, too, that he's going to, like, his work schedule's a little easier, so he might be able to go in more. I like Ted a lot, and I like Cliff too. I'm a Cliff guy.
Yeah, definitely a couple of cliffhangers here.
Z rebounds.
Z, yeah, and Z rebounds. Fuck you, white team.
Fuck you, white team.
Oh man, so on the show I was saying I had a take. I was like, oh, Justin, when you brought Ted up and down the stairs. He tried to kind of make a joke, and you just looked straight forward and you didn't laugh. And when he was like, yeah, he's got that brittle bone syndrome. If I dropped him, he would have died. After I started thinking about that, I was like, oh yeah, I probably wouldn't have cracked a smirk either. I would have just been staring at the stairs.
When he said it, I was like, holy shit, like that's right. Like there could have been a blood on his hands if he was tripped on the stair.
Yeah, and you could see that was on his mind. Like when you're watching Justin bring him up, he is all focused. I've never seen him more focused.
What was I going to say? There was something. Oh, Coleman, I figured he would have brought this up, but like I was obviously to the game early. I helped Justin bring in a cooler. So I went out to the park and I saw them there, but then I went out to go get my ball. And I look over at the car, like Ted's still sitting in the front seat. It's been like 5 or 10 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Coleman got the wheelchair into his car, but it was stuck for a good 10 to 15 minutes getting out of the car. Like I went over, I'm like, all right, this has got to be easy. Like that thing was fucking in there. And Ted was like, just push it through. Like, if Coleman's door stops here, like all of a sudden, like to get it out, I heard like an extra creak. I was like, oh, I don't know if that door is. I think that door's broken.
That's what Coleman's ankle sounded like when he twisted it. You know what's kind of sick? So guys, I'm in the DME business. I've said that before, durable medical equipment.
Okay.
Things like wheelchairs and crutches and stuff. It's a different, like I don't do it. But what's so cool about if you sell that stuff, you get to call it bent metals. Like those guys are like, oh, I do bent metals.
Bent metals is pretty badass.
That's so badass.
They're good margins on bent metals?
Not really. No.
Oh.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, a lot of places are just going straight through. Dude, you have to rent some of them sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. Like the only way the insurance will pay for it is if you rent it, similar to the CPAP. It might be just a DME model in general. I don't know why that is. But I can actually hear my son just woke up from his nap and he's crying. So let's wrap this puppy up.
We're in peace up here. They're singing. So I'm gonna go up there and be a good guy. So all right, cool.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on a Saturday morning, Pat. Oh, make sure you call that plumber back.
I will.
Big Will.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
All right. See ya. Bye. Are you texting John or you want me to text John?
We'll text John.